Hello guys, this is your friend Vidushi Medico. I'm back on the channel Step Up with Vidushi Medico. This time I'll be starting with the kingdom fungi since I've already told you in my previous videos that kingdom fungi and virus, these two topics are extremely important. So I'll be discussing kingdom fungi and virus exclusively in this video. So guys, let's begin. So now let's start kingdom fungi. The fungi constitute a unique kingdom of heterotrophic organism. As you all know that fungi is the organisms which do not possess chlorophyll. So obviously they will be heterotrophic organism, that is they are not going to prepare their own food but they are going to depend on some other organisms. Okay, now let's focus on the important things like white spots seen on mustard leaves are due to a parasitic fungi. Some unicellular fungi, example yeast, are used to make bread and beer. Now this line is extremely important as it will be discussed also in class 12th. There is a chapter in which we will be studying this. And what else is important? See, there is wheat rust causing puccinia. This is very important, guys. Most fungi are heterotrophic, they are saprophytes, they are parasites. This all is very important. Now let's move on to a very important thing. The various spores are produced in distinct structures called fruiting bodies. The sexual cycle involves the following three steps. Now, what are those three steps? First, plasmogamy, that is fusion of the protoplasm, will occur between two motile or two non-motile organisms. Gametes, then fusion of two nuclei. See, after cytoplasm have fused, that is the protoplasm, then nuclei will fuse, that is this process is known as karyogamy. At last there will be meiosis in zygote resulting in haploid spores. Okay, so this is how, these are the steps that are being followed in the sexual cycle of the fungi. You'll be studying when this dikaryotic stage, the diploid stage, is also known as dikaryotic stage, that is known as dikaryon, and this is found in which all? Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes. Now this is very important that the morphology of the mycelium, the mode of spore formation and the fruiting bodies form the basis for the division of the kingdom into various classes. So there are different classes like Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes, then there is Deuteromycetes. So what these classes have been classified on which basis? So now let's start with the first, that is Phycomycetes. Members of Phycomycetes are found in aquatic habitats and on decaying wood, in moist and damp places, or as obligate parasites on plants. So they are just explaining that where are these Phycomycetes found. They are found in aquatic habitats, they are found in decaying wood, in moist places, and they are also found as obligate parasites on plants. The next line says that the mycelium is aseptate and cenocytic. Aseptate means without septa and cenocytic means they have many nuclei. Asexual reproduction takes place by zoospores. Now zoospores are motile or aplanospores, they are non-motile. You should remember each and every line of this. Then examples are also extremely important. Second one is Ascomycetes. Ascomycetes are commonly known as sac fungi. The Ascomycetes are mostly multicellular. Example, penicillium, or rarely unicellular. Example, yeast. So this is the only class which has got unicellular as well as multicellular organism in it. They are parasitic, they are coprophilous, and mycelium can be what? Can be septate, is branched. The asexual spores are conidia, produced exogenously. You should remember that the conidia are produced exogenously. Then what is important? The examples: Aspergillus, Claviceps, Neurospora. Neurospora is used extensively in biochemical and genetic work. This is also very important. Neurospora is very important, that is used exclusively in biochemical and genetic work. Many members like morels and truffles are edible and are considered delicacies. Now, this line, I can't tell you how important it is. It has been asked, I think, many times, many times. You should remember morels and truffles belong to Ascomycetes and they are edible. They are considered delicacies. Now, let's move on to Basidiomycetes. Basidiomycetes, they are mushrooms. They are bracket fungi, puffballs. Now, next line is describing the habitat where the Basidiomycetes are found. You should remember how is the mycelium, since the classification was based on the type of mycelium, so you should remember that it is branched and septate. Now, asexual spores are generally not found. Underline this line, this is very important. But vegetative reproduction by fragmentation is common. The sex organs are absent, but plasmogamy is brought about by fusion of two vegetative spores. This is very important because Deuteromycetes is also like that only, but you have to remember that fragmentation is being carried out here, but the sex organs are absent. Karyogymy and meiosis takes place in the basidium, producing 4 basidiospores. You should remember it. The basidiospores are exogenously produced on the basidium. Now see, this is so different from the one that we have studied in Ascomycetes. Now have a look at the examples. Examples are very important, very important. That are agaricus is mushroom, that is eatable. You guys know that. Eustilago is smut. Must remember the things which are given in the bracket. They are very important. And the rust fungi, that is Puccinia. Now let's move on to Deuteromycetes, that is also known as imperfect fungi. The examples are important. You should remember why is it known as imperfect fungi, and rest is not that important. So now let's see. When the sexual forms of these fungi were discovered, they were moved into classes they rightly belong to, because they are. Why is it known as imperfect fungi? Because only the asexual or vegetative phases of these fungi are known. That is the reason. Okay. Now, the examples are very important. Colitotrichum, Trichoderma, and Alternaria. So these examples. Okay. Now, since we have done with the fungi, what all is important? You must know what is the basis of classification, what is karyogamy, at what time, what is the sequence, that first plasmogamy, then karyogamy, then meiosis is occurring, the examples, how is the mycelium. So these are some very important questions of fungi. Now there is kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. We are going to discuss Plantae and Animalia exclusively in my maybe next video. So we'll be discussing kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia only in them. Now we are going to start with viruses, viroids, prions and lichens. Let me tell you, there was a question in NEET 2020, so you know how this small topic is so important that even NEET people are asking the question from such small paragraph, and I know many students find this topic very difficult, but just trust me, I'm going to explain you each line by line. This is very important, I know. Let's start with viruses. In the 5 kingdom classification, you all know that we didn't discuss virus till here. So why is it so? Because there is no mention of viruses in the Whittaker's 5 kingdom classification. That is the reason. And there is also one more exception to the Whittaker's classification, that is lichens. So these are some acellular organisms like viruses, viroids, prions, which haven't been classified in the Whittaker's classification. They will be discussed. Okay. All of us who have suffered the ill effects of common cold, you all know common cold is caused by rhinovirus. Okay, so now comes the point, why have the viruses not been classified in Whittaker's classification? Because viruses are actually not considered living. Why is it so? Because until and unless they are not in a host, they are not living. Okay, so the viruses are non-cellular organisms that are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure outside the living cell. Once they infect a cell body, they take over the machinery of the host cell to replicate themselves. That is the reason why they are not considered living and they haven't been classified in the Whittaker's Five Kingdom classification. Now, I want to tell you all, whoever is watching this video, please sit with a copy and a pen. I'll be telling you the very important points related to virus. If you focus only on those points, I'm telling you there will be no question left which you will not be able to solve from the topic virus, and you must solve the questions on the topic virus after watching this video. So please, whoever is watching it, please sit with a copy and a pen. If you don't have, please pause the video, go and get a copy and get a pen and start writing the points. So now I'm assuming that everyone who is watching the video from now on is sitting with a copy and a pen. So let's begin. Okay, I'll be telling you the very important points. Start writing. The name virus, that means venom or poisonous fluid, was given by Dmitry Ivanovsky. Okay, so the first point is that the name virus means venom. This is your first point. Venom, you know what is the meaning of venom? That is poisonous fluid. And this term, that is virus, was given by Ivanovsky in which year? 1892. Write it down. This is your first point. If you are not able to write, please pause the video and then write. So the next point is that Ivanovsky recognized certain microbes as causal organism of the mosaic disease of tobacco. Write this down. This is your second point. Third point is M.W. Beijerinck in 1898 demonstrated that the extract of the infected plants of tobacco could cause infection in healthy plants and called the fluid as contagium vivum fluidum. That is also that is the meaning of infectious living fluid. Write this point. This is very important. The year 1898, M.W. Beijerinck, contagium vivum fluidum and infectious living fluid. Next point is, I think the fourth point, W.M. Stanley in 1935 showed that viruses could be crystallized and crystals consist largely of proteins. This is, I think, the fourth point. Write this down. Now till now, I think we have included all the scientists' name from Ivanovsky to Beijerinck to W.M. Stanley. Now write the fifth point. Viruses are obligate parasites. This is very important. You should remember it. They are obligate parasites, not facultative. Now these were the five or six very important points. Now let's move on and search for an important point. In addition to proteins, viruses also, this is very important. Viruses also contain genetic material that could be either RNA or DNA. Obviously, they will be having some genetic material. They have only genetic material and protein. No viruses contain both RNA and DNA. Write this point as your sixth or seventh point, whatever it is. Write that no viruses contain both DNA and RNA. A virus is a nucleoprotein and the genetic material is infectious. In general, viruses that infect plants have single stranded RNA, and viruses that infect animals have either single or double stranded RNA or double stranded DNA. Bacterial viruses or bacteriophages. Okay, so you should remember, you should know what are bacteriophages. They are the viruses that infect the bacteria. They are usually double stranded DNA. This is nothing to understand here. You should remember it. Okay, and the protein coat are called capsids, and the units are capsomeres. So the capsomeres are arranged in helical or polyhedral geometric forms. Now these were the very important points. You now whatever points are there, you just read them. Viruses cause diseases like mumps. Mumps are caused by paramyxovirus. Then there is smallpox, varicella, variola, herpes, influenza, AIDS. Now let's move on. Viroids. What all to remember here? The year 1971, which scientists worked on viroids, that is Theo Diener. Viroids are discovered. There is a new infectious agent that was smaller than viruses and caused potato spindle tuber disease. So this is important, that what causes viroids causes what, or PSTD is caused by what. It was found to be a free RNA. It lacked the protein content. So this is important. Okay, and what all is important? Rest come to prions. Prions are infectious particles, and the diseases, the names which are given here: bovine spongiform encephalopathy. They are commonly called mad cow disease in cattle, and its analogues variant CR-Jakob disease in humans. Now let's move on to the lichens. So what are lichens? Lichens are symbiotic associations, that is mutually useful association, that is both the partners are going to benefit each other. Algae and fungi. Who are the partners? They are algae and fungi. One is phycobiont and the other one is mycobiont. Now the study of algae is phycology, so obviously the phycobiont is algae, and the study of fungi is mycology, so it is mycobiont. They are so algae is autotrophic and fungi is heterotrophic, so they are dependent on each other. Algae prepared food for fungi, and fungi provide shelter and absorb mineral nutrients and water for its partner. So close is their association that if one saw a lichen in nature, one would never imagine that they had two different organisms within them. So that is the reason why it is known as symbiotic association. And lichens are very good pollution indicators. They are SO2. You can directly say that they are SO2 pollution indicator. They do not grow in polluted areas. So this is how we have ended the chapter, with fungi first, then viruses, viroids, prions. Now I would like to say that to my lovely audience, to all the students out there who all are watching the video, don't stress so much. I know the results are about to come after, I think, 2 days, but don't stress. Just study if you haven't done the test well. Otherwise, enjoy, and please subscribe the channel and hit the like button. It really motivates me to make more and more such educational videos. Thank you so much. Okay guys, so I also wanted to tell you one thing, that there is a Telegram channel named Step Up with Vidushi Medico. You can directly search it in Telegram, or else you can get the link in the description box also. If you join the channel, you're going to get the questions. I'm helping all those students who are devoid of coaching. So you'll get questions there and learn from here.